Hey, good morning, or early good morning. I mean very early good morning, everybody. I'm here to do my Monday Night Raw review for the post Monday Night Raw of Night of Champions, basically the post Night of Champions edition of Raw. And I know some people may have not liked it, some people feel as though it wasn't really entertaining to the point that they would be entertained, and that's okay. That's their opinions. Maybe they feel they weren't entertained. So again, like I said, that's their opinions. Myself, I think we can see definitely the makings of something heading into Survivor Series. I'm not talking about something getting in the makings of, of heading. I'm not talking about something that's being made, it's in the makings of something for Hell in a Cell, or in the makings of for something for Vengeance. But basically, like I said, it kind of, really plants the seeds for something major happening at Survivor Series. Like I said, not at Night of Champions. I mean, not Night of Champions, not at Vengeance, nor at Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks. And again, I know some people didn't like tonight's Raw. They feel it didn't advance much, but I will agree. Maybe it didn't do as much as it should, but I have to say there were clues there for something planted that's going to develop for Survivor Series, and I think we kind of have an idea of what that may be. You see, apparently. Well, basically we start off Raw with, CM Punk coming out and kind of acknowledging he doesn't have really good memories of the Gund Arena that they're in Cleveland and all that, but But he goes on to say, basically CM Punk goes on to say that there is a conspiracy in the WWE, but it's not the conspiracy that CM Punk and R-Truth are talking about. It's a conspiracy that, as he was about to say before, as he was about to mention, has to deal with him. It does involve him as well as the person that interrupted him, and that was Triple H. Triple H came out and basically mentioned that they went to war at Night of Champions, but he's now there to do his day job, which is to inform Punk that Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks he will challenge, along with Del Rio, John Cena in a triple threat Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. Now Punk is happy about this. And now Triple H wants to move on to some other business and tells Punk flat out that, hey, I have nothing to do with whatever conspiracy Miz and R-Truth are talking about. I had nothing to do with Nash coming down, beating you up at SummerSlam, beating me up at Night of Champions along with you. I had nothing to do with that. And he basically tells Punk, hey, but if you still feel I have something to do with it, we can settle it. We can go to war again right now, right here and now. But Punk says, hey, don't. But basically, Punk's telling Triple H, hey, calm down, take a breather, What I was trying to say before you interrupted is there is a conspiracy against you and me. Someone behind the scenes is pulling the strings. Someone with a higher position than you, Triple H. And that this someone is using our dislike for each other against us to play against us so they could take advantage. And just as he's about to say in his opinion, as he's about to say in his opinion who he should have realized that it was this whole time, out comes John Laurinaitis. Now Laurinaitis with John Laurinaitis obviously showing up, that kind of gives you an idea that he has a hand, possibly a hand, if not the whole hand, storyline wise, in this whole situation with Hunter and Punk. And basically CM Punk does point that out. And you know, Laurinaitis is trying to cover his ass by saying, "No, I don't believe anything Punk is saying, blah blah blah, Punk's lying, blah blah blah." And he's basically saying Punk's upset that he couldn't beat Triple H. But Punk then goes on to say basically he's figured that after last night he figured out everything and figured out that Johnny Ace, or John Laurinaitis as he's known, was primed and ready, according to the text is here, they kind of text basically what they said, primed and ready to swoop in and take Triple H's job if he would have lost. He suspects, now he doesn't say he's confirmed it, but he suspects Laurinaitis sent Truth and Miz out there to the ring, and before Punk can finish, Laurinaitis says, "Hey, you're out of line, you're disrespecting me," and that out of line. He says he doesn't want to be COO, and then just when you think he's going to agree that Triple H is a better COO, he goes and turns the tables by saying, "Oh yeah, Triple H has lost control of everything." Now, here's the thing. Why would somebody that in CM Punk's mind say was primed and ready to take Triple H's job and then say, "Oh, I don't want to be COO, but yet I understand Triple H has lost control of everything"? It's obvious, folks. It's obvious right there from the get-go that Laurinaitis, like I said, has a hand in this storyline-wise, but it's a hand to basically reach out, grab the title of COO or COO, whatever you want to call it, and hand it back over storyline-wise to Vince McMahon. Now Triple H says he's not sure where this is all going, but he's going to get to the bottom of it. And then Laurinaitis then tries to fire Punk. Triple H says no, that's not going to happen, but there will be a firing before the end of the night. Now up next, the first match was an 8-man tag team match. It was Sheamus, Justin Gabriel, and Air Boom, Kofi and Evan, taking on Christian, Wade Barrett, David Otunga, and Michael McGillicuddy. Wasn't that long of a match. Sheamus basically hits the Celtic Cross on David Otunga to get the win. And I guess this is sort of to keep the Christian Sheamus program going on SmackDown, because when Sheamus hit the Celtic Cross on Otunga, he basically had his eyes locked. He had his eyes locked, if you will, on Christian. Now, we get a backstage segment with the referee, Chad Patton, telling Triple H, "Hey, me and the other refs don't feel safe around here right now." Triple H says, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just tell Miz and R-Truth to get in here, to report to my office as soon as they arrive." And then we have Del Rio coming in, and Del Rio basically is upset that Triple H has put him in a Hell in a Cell match, which he's never been a part of in his career. And Triple H basically goes on to tell him, "Hey, look, instead of complaining, you better start doing a lot of praying, because you're going to need it in Hell in a Cell. Take it from me, I've been there." Next, we kind of have what was surprisingly a less than under a minute match between Del Rio and Morrison. Basically, Morrison ended up looking like Del Rio's bitch tonight, because Del Rio just went on the attack and beat Morrison by submission. Then we have, trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Then we have the introduction of Hugh Jackman to the crowd, and he gets a pretty good reaction. And I'll tell you this, after what I found out yesterday, if you will, today being Tuesday, but what I found out yesterday, I'll say this: Hugh Jackman was a better choice than what we're going to be getting on Halloween night, because like I said in that short 2-minute video, or less than 2-minute video, I may have been a fan of them growing up and still am a fan, but is WWE seriously kidding me when they say on Halloween night our special guest on Raw are the Muppets? The Muppets? You know, they better have a good way of getting these guys involved in the program, because right now all I see is backstage segments with them. That's all I see. Now, again, you know, Hugh Jackman comes out, you know, gets the crowd behind him, basically promotes, and basically is there to promote his film. Then he gets interrupted by Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero. Now, Vicky tries to cozy up to Dolph, which, again, I'm starting to like this side of Vicky. I really am, and I think Hugh, storyline-wise, was starting to kind of get, you know, kind of good with Vicky there. You know, kind of a little creepy, I guess, in some eyes, but I thought it was kind of cool, good interaction. And Dolph's heel persona played off very well, because Dolph basically feels, hey, I'm better than everybody else. I'm better than everybody I've named off, from Miz to A-Rod to Mason Ryan and everything. So he basically names off everything and says that it doesn't matter what kind of an underdog you put against me, I'll beat him. So Jackman basically takes up that challenge and says, fine, I'll find an underdog. And he does find one without going to the back just yet to talk to him about it. He finds one in the crowd chanting Ryder, as in Zack Ryder. Now, Miz and R-Truth do finally arrive and try to act sincere, kind of act apologetic and everything for what happened. First to Laurinaitis, who tells him, hey, Hunter wants you in the office. And then the next match we were supposed to have is Sin Cara against Cody Rhodes. Now let me check my time here for a second. Okay, I may have to do this in 2 parts, so I apologize. But we get Sin Cara supposedly originally scheduled to face Cody Rhodes. Instead, that match is interrupted by the appearance of the other Sin Cara, and they basically do get physical, which many feel was not a good idea. Some feel as though they should have waited, just kept doing the stare downs and everything. But I guess, you know, I guess if you want to look at it from WWE's perspective and storyline wise, it's kind of getting them both familiar with each other. Now here's what I don't understand, folks. Here's what I don't understand. I mean, you know, some people may have had their problems with the Doink storyline, the multiple Doink storyline in the 90s, along with the Undertaker, the 2 Undertaker storylines, as well as the 2 Kane storylines. But are you seriously kidding me with this whole Sin Cara deal? I think we can all see that the fake Sin Cara, the one that came out second tonight, is a little bigger and muscular than the original. I think we could see that. And if no one else sees that, then you must be blind. Now, I'm going to probably have to go into a second part here, so I apologize, and I'm going to do that right now.